Alright, greetings everybody. Welcome to Modcast episode 11. This time I'm, of course, joined by... We went
Hi.
through this. We went through this!
Fucking hell.
Yo, what's up? Hi, Mom, I'm on a podcast.
Oh my god.
Hi.
Okay, we're joined by Mafdominus, Isaac. And,
Black people.
and we're also joined by...
I'm in 2 Halloween episodes in a row. Hey, it's Luigi Channel 50.
Oh yeah, that's Luigi Channel, alright.
Yep.
Yep. But we're actually joined by Math and Random. Now that may seem a bit strange, because wait, the wheel said Luigi and Isaac. So what happened? Well,
He died.
Yeah, yep, that's exactly what happened.
There was an Isaac episode that should like explain itself.
Actually, ironically enough, like all jokes aside, the problem with episode 11 was the fact that it was like a bit too boring, ironically enough. Just like, and I recorded it, I even started editing it, and I was just like, I'm not really a fan. I think this wouldn't be very entertaining. I mean, if people want to see it, I can definitely release it as like a bonus episode or something, the first edition of episode 11. But this is episode 11 proper. This is the for real version.
Until it gets
Yeah,
wrapped.
this is the 2 ones.
I could not hear half of what you just said. What?
Sorry. And those are 2 ones, because that's 11. 1 and
Yeah.
1.
Yep, those indeed are 2 ones.
I'm
But
very smart.
also, I somehow get the feeling that every intro from now on is just going to be super awkward. Every single time we have an intro, just the pause between me saying who I'm joined by and someone actually saying something is going to get longer and longer until eventually, like, we hit the hour point where, like, no one responds for a solid hour.
And
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
great.
entire episode.
Yep, that'll be the entire episode.
Mm.
It'll be great.
Yep.
So, we got some topics. Our first topic is Halloween, just Halloween in general. So what do you
The
guys
best holiday.
kinda.
And it's close between that and Christmas.
I agree. I
Yeah.
I don't know how much of this I already talked about in the last Halloween one, so if it sounds like we're repeating ourselves, I'm sorry. Except Math, he wasn't in that one, so
Yeah.
And we're in both.
Yeah, so what do you guys think of Halloween? I think it's a pretty good holiday. I think it's probably the best or second best holiday. And then there's Thanksgiving just in the middle of Halloween and Christmas, and no one likes that.
Yeah. Nobody likes
I
Thanksgiving.
I forgot that existed, but
Well, of course you did. You're British.
Yeah, you don't know anything about American culture. So, loser.
And British people just aren't thankful for anything.
exactly.
Fair enough. Fair enough. They are British.
Yeah, that's true. British people are like British.
Crazy.
But yeah, this Halloween is my favorite holiday. As a little laddie, I loved going out to the trick-or-treating. Never went trick-or-treating in the neighborhood, though. We just went to the mall because they had a lot of candy there. It wasn't until my
Did you
later years.
Wait, did
So-
you just go buy candy at the mall instead of trick-or-treating?
Boring.
Oh, no. They like the stores gave away free candy and stuff like that.
Okay. I thought you were going to say, yeah, we just went to the store and our trick-or-treating adventure was we bought candy.
That would have been funnier. Well, I should have led with that. But yeah. Anyways, I didn't start going to neighborhood trick or treating like you'd see in the movies and TV shows until I was like 14 years old, and by then everybody's like, "You're too old to go trick or treating," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't care." But yeah, I went out as a Ghostbuster, so that was pretty nice.
How
Nice.
I guess we kind of skipped over to the second topic as well, but oh well. How okay, so there's some people who say, bro, you're too old to go trick-or-treating. And definitely I think once you're an adult, it's kind of like, okay, it's gone from like sort of haha, oh that's neat, to sort of weird. But when's the cutoff? And when did you guys stop going trick-or-treating, if you stopped? I assume you both stopped at some point.
Oh no, I'm still going at it.
Are you serious? I can't tell if you're serious or not.
Oh no, we were gonna go last year, but there was this thing called the pandemic, so we didn't. But I'm definitely not over it.
Great. I think the last time I went was in like 2016, when like that was mostly because like I've already stopped then, but I mostly just went there just to like no adult was out there, so it was like, okay, I need, my little sister wants to go out, so I might as well just go out there with her and her friends.
I see.
It was actually kind of fun, but like obviously I never went again after that. I mostly just like Halloween. I love the aesthetic and stuff like that. Obviously, I still carve pumpkins for some reason, and obviously an excuse to watch scary movies and horror stuff.
And then there's me, who hasn't gone since I was like, what, 7, 8, something like that.
I can just picture little Dub wearing his little Indiana Jones costume, and then he just going out a little trick-or-treating and stuff.
I mean, there's one problem, and that's the fact that I've never worn an Indiana Jones costume, because why?
I mean, but I wore an Indiana Jones costume once, but I just kind of assume you did. I don't know why.
Of course. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just
Indiana Jones.
I didn't like most of the candy. I wasn't a big fan of like candies. And so I would just go like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Is it weird that I never liked candy? I just went out for fun when I did go.
I mean, yeah, there's some sweets I like, especially now, but like just candy, I was like, really? I think there were like a grand total of like probably 2 or 3 candies I was actually like, yeah, I will actively eat this. And then the rest I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do with this. I'm not going to eat it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I strictly went out for fun. I was one of those weird kids who never liked candy, and I still don't. So, at this one, I just like Halloween for the fun of it. That's always been the case.
I like some candy. Candy corn.
Ew, you like candy corn?
Yep.
Oh.
What's wrong with candy corns, my man?
First of all, I gotta turn down my mic volume. It is way too loud. Second of all, random, do you like candy corn?
I don't like candy.
Well, okay.
Yeah, well, why would you ask the guy if he likes a certain candy when he hates all of them?
You know what I mean.
You are dumb Dub.
Either way, I can agree, Math, you're fucking... I'm just not gonna finish.
Candy corn is gross. I'm sorry.
What's wrong with candy corn? It's like...
Actually, you know what?
Eating candy.
You know what? I'll say this. I haven't had candy corn in probably like 10 years, so things could have changed, but last time I had it, and the times prior, I was like, yeah, wow, no, I just don't like this. And I don't understand.
Wow.
I don't...
Man, I feel like a minority.
Yes, you are.
Oh.
Just watch the comments, everyone's gonna agree with you.
Agree with who? Me or Math?
Probably Math, because like, I'm gonna assume.
Who likes candy corn? If you like candy corn, you're weird.
But like, candy corn is awesome. And you know what else is awesome? So are nerds. The candy from Wonka. The nerds.
They're okay, I guess. Now, here are some good candies. You ready? Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, M&M's, and Skittles.
Maybe. Okay, Skittles are good. Okay, all right, fine. You win me at Skittles, but still, candy corn is pretty good, my guy. I don't know why you don't like it. It's like orange.
What are the better Skittles, regular or sour?
The regular ones.
Okay, fair enough. I respectfully disagree with you.
I mean, I don't like soury stuff. You know, it's like
I mean, I generally don't either, though. Anyway, so that's our favorite candies and trick or treating and stuff. I don't know.
candy.
I don't know what else to really say about trick or treating because it's kind of like literally haven't gone since I was like 7 or 8. I don't quite remember.
Well, trick or treating is it's a fun thing to do. I might go this year, but then again, I might just ditch because pandemic.
Yeah, math the the 18-year-old high schooler running around trick or treating.
Oh, sure, you make fun of me now, but when the aliens attack and the only way to save the world is to go trick or treating, don't come crying to me when they start probing your ass.
How can trick or treating save you?
That's an oddly specific solution.
Sometimes that's how things are.
You see, the aliens, they're allergic to trick-or-treat candy. But you have to get it by trick-or-treating. You can't just get the candy regularly.
Exactly. Like, come on, that's not hard to follow.
I don't know. So, I guess what do you do on Halloween if you don't go trick-or-treating? I used to hand out candy, but then that got boring, and I was like, nah.
I used to mostly do that as well, but eventually just, I just watch a fuck ton of, like, horror shit, or, like, play horror shit, or just obviously I still carve pumpkins. That's the main, like, tradition I still do, because pumpkins are cool.
I don't think I've ever carved a pumpkin.
Did I say what I do when there's no trick-or-treating? Or because there was, like, a period of time for me when I didn't go trick-or-treating, because that was, like, in between 2011 and sometime in the mid-2000s, 10s and stuff, but, yeah, it's when I don't do any trick-or-treating, I just kind of just sit back and start drawing some bad things, and then it leads to watching horror movies, and then going to bed and listening to some of them creepypastas, but they never scared me because they all suck.
Hey, come on, not all of them suck.
Yes, all of them suck.
I mean, I know some decent creepypastas.
I mean, a good majority of them are pretty bad, but obviously stuff. Candle Cove is one of my favorites. Stuff like that.
Candle Cove is decent. I always recommend NES Godzilla, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, I still need to.
Wait, did you say Godzilla? Oh my god, did you say Godzilla? Oh my god, I love Godzilla.
Oh my god.
That's a later topic.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, and trust me, there's plenty of bad ones. There's plenty of dumb creepypastas. But there are a few diamonds in the rough.
Maybe.
I never fully read Ben Drowned, but I remember that one shockingly being good for a video game creepypasta.
Oh yeah,
Ben Drowned.
That's the one with the Legend of Zelda thing, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. It was meh.
I don't know. I think the big problem is it kind of, it kind of banked on its whole, oh, look, not only is it a creepypasta, but there's footage to go along with it. And, great for the time, but now that that's kind of, it's not as, rare anymore, now it's kind of lost what made it unique. So it's good that it was, like, the first one to ever do it, but now that it's been done, it's like, eh.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, it was, like, great. Like, at least that's what I remember, because that's when I first read it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, most of these creepypastas I didn't read so much as I listened to them.
Oh.
I was one of the people who read most of them, but...
Yeah, I pretty much read most of them.
Yeah, readings for nerd! I'm joking. I have read, like, a few creepypastas, but most of them I was like, eh. I think a lot of the creepypastas, if one of these creepypasta narrating people went to the effort of actually narrating it, that either means that it's really good or really bad. And so that's generally what I would stick with.
I suppose it's a bit of both, really. It's both good and bad,
Now here's a good horror, sort of internet horror genre. Analog horror. I like those now.
Why?
Wait, well,
Do you not know
remind
what?
me. I've definitely. I think I may have known, but I can't exactly remember what the definition of them are.
I don't know. Just go look it up. Go look up some analog horror stuff. It's hard to
It sounds
really.
familiar. I feel like I know it, but
It's
And while you're
sort of
googling
like,
it,
huh?
I'm gonna
found
Google it.
subgenre found footage.
Found footage.
Oh, fan
It's a
footage.
Okay, I guess yeah, kinda, sort of is.
sounds from very yes, electro alerts. Okay, yeah, I know what this is. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain in part because it's rather new.
yeah. I've just been reminded what it is. Yeah, I remember seeing some of those. Those were cool.
Like, Local 58 is good, for example.
Yeah, that's definitely one I know of.
Wait, where have I heard that one before? Because I think I've heard of that one, but I don't think I know it.
You've probably seen it around because that's where I first found out about it. I just hear it a lot, and then I checked it out and it was actually surprisingly really good.
Hmm. Maybe.
And you know what? Speaking of spooky stuff, this next topic is about scary stories from your childhood, which I can kind of opt out of since I don't really have any.
I don't have a
Ooh,
lot.
very spooky.
Oh wait.
I do.
Wait. Actually, I do have one. One time, many years ago, a little over 2 decades ago, I was born. There we go. That was a horror story.
Oh my god! No, please.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I got some scary stories shared of my childhood. Yeah. So, let's see, which one do I pick? Well, there's this weird one that I was told when I was riding the bus in like fourth grade. Some little girl was like, "You want to hear the story of Chucky?" And I was like, "Oh, the
oh
scary
my
doll that kills
god.
people."
Oh my fucking god!
But she says, "No, it's not off the movie." And I'm like, "But the movie is called Child's Play, and it's got Chucky in it. How is it not about Chucky?" And she was like, "No, trust me, this story is completely original." And I was like, "All right, but if you copy the movie's plot, I'm not gonna laugh or anything like that." But anyways, she was saying something about some children being born on Friday the 13th, and I was like, "Oh, okay, so this is a bit different." And then she says that these children were indestructible and that they had superpowers and stuff, but they were psychopathic and stuff, and they started killing people and shit. And then at the end of the climax of this story, they were being shot down by a helicopter, but then they gathered together and they fucking destroyed the helicopter, and the helicopter crashed, but it only killed one of them. And then they're still out there killing people to this very day, and nobody knows how to stop them because they're indestructible or something like that. It's a weird take on Chucky, but
If that was a copy paste in the movie, I wouldn't know since I've never seen it. So
That's
good
no.
story.
That's scared me so much.
I think
Wow,
I
dude.
think the scariest part of that story was the fact that you rode the bus.
Oh no, it was pretty scary, but only to a mind like me.
Random, do you have any spooky stories from childhood?
I forgot all of them.
That's probably
Wow.
fitting.
Because he's British.
What?
Oh yeah, that's definitely what I was going for with that joke. Okay, so we didn't really have very many scary stories because I don't know.
Well, one of them plagiarized the movie Child's Play, but it wasn't really the plot. It was just an original thing. They just plagiarized the title of the slasher that didn't even show up in the story.
I mean, I already mentioned I'm not gonna have a lot. I'm not gonna have anything to say about this specific topic, so I'll just let you two go ahead.
Wait, I think I have another scary story. Do any of you
Uh-oh.
know the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the
Oh my
Wise?
god,
Why?
no,
Why
shut
did
up.
Why did I know you were gonna say that?
Because, Star Wars.
Anyway, so next topic we've moved on from scary stories to scary movies. So
More up my alley. More up my alley.
I don't know any.
Because we know everything about scary movies, and you know nothing about scary movies. We will save the podcast with knowledge of scary movies and scary movies.
I don't know anything about scary movies because I don't know why I
Because you're
would.
not cultured.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
Hmm?
Hmm?
Hmm? Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah,
scary movies. Probably one of my favorite genre of film in the whole universe.
What he said.
I don't know. I don't think I ever watched scary movies. Especially
Is it
since,
because you're scared?
well, I think part of the problem is that, from what I've been told, a lot of them are, oh, look, they're creeping around hallways, oh, it's spooky, oh, jump scare! And then it's more of that for the next hour and a half, woo!
Well, to be fair, that would describe a lot of modern, some of the modern horror movies, which are, they're not good.
I can't
So
remember
which
what I
ones are
actually liked.
good?
Oh, you just got to look at some of the best. One thing that comes to mind is Alien, which
That
is
has
about.
That's my favorite movie of all time right now. So yeah.
Oh yes, Alien. It's about this crew that they're kind of like truckers, but in space, and they're just doing normal routine stuff. But then the company orders them to basically check out a planet because there might be something on there. But it turns out it was all just a big ship. And when they do check it out, they get infected. Well, one of them just gets face fucked, but still. And then the alien
So
shows
this
up
is a horror
to like.
movie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see, Dub, when a horror movie starts slow, you gotta start slow to introduce all the
No,
characters and set the
never mind.
atmosphere.
It was a joke.
Oh, I took a joke seriously. Now I feel retarded.
You
Yes.
should.
But the
You
point is,
should. Amazing.
but still, the point is, Alien is a very fascinating film because it takes its time to introduce the monster, and even then, you don't really see the monster often, and that's kind of the fear factor because everybody knows. What's scarier is pretty much nothing when you don't
Yeah.
know what is coming after you.
It heavily plays on the fear of the unknown thing, which is one of my favorite parts about it. I mean, I think the alien itself only gets 4 minutes of screen time, so
Yeah, but it owns those 4 minutes because and then when it this might be a bit of a spoiler to a movie that's 40 decades old, but when it's found out that the crew has an android, and that android it was secretly working for the company because they want to bring back the alien for their bioweapons thing, and then that's really scary because there's an imposter among us.
Do 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 do
Yeah.
do do.
Okay,
it's
but
I've
seriously
seen.
though, there's a bit of a mistrust there because what's scarier than the alien? The freaking humans that want it and turn it into a mass weapon and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's scary.
Okay.
I don't know what else to add.
Okay, fine.
5 seconds.
Random. What about you? What scary movies do you like?
I already mentioned the Alien Predator films are great. I've recently been getting back into the Halloween films because of the new one that I saw in theaters. I mean, the first one's aged pretty horribly, but it has some entertainment value out of it, and the new one was okay, I guess.
Oh, the old Halloween movie was it's an okay good movie, a good enjoy time, but I wouldn't call it a masterpiece.
It's aged fucking horribly. But one of my favorite horror franchises is the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Those are always some of my favorites. Psycho comes to mind. That's one of my favorite horror films. That's actually one I saw in theaters because of a re-release. So
Can we talk about a somewhat overrated but also a good horror movie called It?
Oh yeah,
What's wrong with it?
You fucker. Okay.
Seriously, I don't know. I've never watched it.
Okay, so in all seriousness, the movie it's pretty good because it's like a coming of age story about these
which
teenagers. The only It movie that exists.
2017.
Yeah, when I say movie, I say that's literally the only movie. Because the first one's like a TV miniseries or whatever.
Yeah, that was the other one. I was one about the 1991. I mean,
Yeah,
I remember chapter 1 of that one was actually okay. It was pretty decent, but chapter 2 was kind of fucking horrible.
Oh yeah, chapter 2, the one where they spend 2 minutes riding a bike, and that's what the entire scene is focused on.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's literally an entire scene where two grown adult men are trying out a new bike, or like they're picking up an old bike and stuff. And I was like, when are we gonna get to the
Riveting.
killer clown? But yeah,
I remember Remake Chapter 2 wasn't much better, but it was way more entertaining.
oh yeah, there's that. But no, yeah, drawing back to the first It movie, the first It movie, I would say, is a pretty good movie, but it feels like people put it on a high pedestal. And it's like it's a breakthrough through horror movies and stuff. They act like it's some kind of grand achievement, but I'm like, I don't see what's so great achievement about it. I don't see how this movie is elevated above all the horror movies. Is it just because it made a ton of money at the box office? Because I feel like that's pretty much the only reason why it's considered so iconic and stuff like that.
So kind of like Avatar.
Huh,
Yeah.
that it pretty much basically. It's like, oh, this movie is really popular and iconic, but then you watch the movie, it's like, that was all right.
That's it. Anyway.
Yeah, basically.
But okay. Random. Do you have any scary movies? Uh, any scary
Talk
movie
about
recommendations? What?
I've pretty much all the ones I've listed so far. I remember my favorite. I mentioned this in the last one, but my favorite horror film used to be The Thing, and then again, Alien took over. Currently, my favorite movie, but
All right.
Yeah, The
so-
Thing is a pretty good movie.
yeah, Thing's really good. I barely remember the 2011 prequel, but I don't remember good things about it.
The only thing I remember about the 2011 movie is not even about the movie itself, but rather the behind the scenes where they actually used practical effects.
then they
But then they
fucked over the practical effects team by
Yeah,
replacing
they
it all with CGI for no reason.
Aw,
literally-
seriously?
They put in so
They-
much work and it actually looked good, and they replaced it with some of the worst CGI imaginable.
yeah, they
And
They
it was the
literally
dumbest
built-
excuse too, when it's like, so obviously they're trying to pay respects to the original 80s movie, because that one's famous for its like incredible practical effects. And then eventually, okay, want to pay homage, and then the studio decides, you know what, this looks too much like an 80s movie, and let's just replace it all with CGI, when that's the entire fucking point of it.
yeah.
Amazing.
And the worst part is the puppets looked really nice, but then you look at the CGI, it's shit.
Okay.
It's really depressing, really.
Well, I don't have any scary movie stuff to talk about, but
Yeah, because you're scared.
I do have something scary to talk about.
No.
Yes. Nintendo's $50 online paywall. Ooh!
Boo! You suck at scary stories.
Shut up. So,
yeah.
I'm not gonna leave the call for a third time. That was unfunny.
I mean, I already kind of mentioned this in a video I made, but yeah, basically, don't buy it. You have like basically no reason to do so. Cause
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, if you want first of all, if you want the Animal Crossing DLC, isn't that sold separately as well?
I don't know. I don't know anything about the actual DLC itself. I just know about the. I remember being really excited for like, oh god, the N64 and Genesis. Oh my god, the Nintendo Switch Lite is finally feeling like it's gonna be worth a damn. Then it just.
Then it's $50. So supposedly, don't quote me on this. So here's the thing I do know: if you're reliant on the DLC, but then you stop your Switch Online subscription, they take it from you, so you aren't able to play it again until you renew your subscription. However,
Wow,
you can supposedly buy it separately, so I'm just kind of thinking, why not just buy it separately? So that you can actually keep it when your thing expires. Or if you let it expire or something like that. It's not only that, but also, again, the bigger deal is like $50 for like, what, 10 N64 games or something like that? It's like, that's not worth it to me. Listen, if you want to get a better experience, I've said it once, I'll say it again, go emulate. Like, I don't even feel bad saying that anymore. Nintendo, Nintendo overstepped their bounds. We were like, okay, you know what? N64 for For $20, that might work. I'm sorry, what's that? $50? No, Nintendo, we said 20. $80? No. Hey, you know what? We'll charge you $150 for GameCube games. How's that sound?
That sounds awful.
Wow, it does. It's almost like you could just buy a GameCube and play the games that way. At that rate. Actually, maybe not. I don't know how much GameCube games are going for on eBay.
Oh, well, let me check. Keyboard noises. Keyboard noises.
You're checking on your phone, aren't you?
Of course I am. Phone noises. Phone noises. Around $9 to $100. Fine.
Oh, 9 to 100, is that all? That's not a very high price range. Oh wait, yes it is. That could be anything.
Oh look, it's Luigi's Mansion. Nintendo GameCube tested, pre-owned, about 400 reviews and $45 plus $5.50 in shipping.
I think that's a bit pricey. I don't know. I think the big deal is, and I've said this before, unless like the company's still actively selling it, just emulate it, seriously. I don't get why there's this whole, oh, but guys, no, we gotta get it the official way. The official way's been gone for a decade now. I don't know how to help you there.
I mean, if they were talking about stuff like Metroid Dread, like that controversy that kind of happened recently,
I mean,
then I guess they kind of have a point.
With people emulating it, and I get it, but personally, if you think the emulation experience of Metroid Dread is better, as long as you paid for it, I don't care. And if Metroid Dread in like 5 to 10 years stops being on sale, emulate it all you want. But if you want to play it right now, I think you should be buying it. Even if you don't play it on the Switch. Which, I mean, I don't get why, but I don't know.
Alright, it's perfectly fine on the Switch. I've been playing it and I've been loving it.
I have not played it yet.
I highly recommend it, actually. It's really good.
I know. I don't blame you. I've heard really good things about it.
I haven't played it yet.
Have you played a Metroid game at all?
Only a demo.
Amazing.
Great.
So, yeah. That's Nintendo's $50 online garbage for N64 games, for decades-old games. Definitely worth it, guys. Trust me. But,
it's not really worth it, but okay.
I just realized the only thing I'd have to say about it is just, the only thing I'd ever say about it is just like repeating what a million other people have already said, so I'm just gonna stay silent for now.
Yeah, basically don't get it. It's not worth it. Now something else Nintendo related though. Sora is now in Smash, which I definitely care about. I definitely wrote down these topics. It wasn't Corson. Nope, no sir. Also, Kingdom Hearts Switch? What?
Oh yeah, it's been ported to Switch via the cloud thing. I want to get into Kingdom Hearts, but I just get the PlayStation version, honestly.
Wait.
Is Kingdom Hearts on the Xbox by any chance?
I think so. I can check.
Okay, because, I don't know, it's this weird trend where basically video games get released on the Switch and the PlayStation, but they never release a port to the Xbox for some reason.
I don't think it's on Xbox right now. So, which ones did they port?
Oh, no, wait, I found, yeah, it is.
What?
I found Kingdom Hearts 3 and 1.5 and 2.5 are on there.
On where? Xbox?
Xbox, apparently.
What?
Yay!
I think I'm saying I'm not. Yeah, no, it is.
Why?
I don't know.
That's
Remember when these things used to be console exclusive? Not anymore.
good. Console exclusivity needs to die. Needs to die a painful death.
But how else are we supposed to experience tribalism between gaming communities?
Console wars, am I right?
I mean, that's accurate, I'll admit.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. PFSC's like, I know it's funny.
Bro, you don't want to play. You don't want to play Mario on the PS5. Wait, yes, I do. No, you want to play. Actually, I don't want to play it on the PS5. I want to play it on the PC. No, you want to play it on the Switch. I mean, not unless I have to. You would love to play it on the Switch, wouldn't you?
You know, I remember as a kid, I always wanted to make Super Mario Xbox Edition. But then some kid told me, wow, that's stupid. You're stupid because it's a Nintendo thing. And my feelings were hurt that day.
Oh no, I feel so bad.
I know. It's sad.
I mean, the only thing worse than, console exclusivity is PC exclusivity. Because it's kind of like, hey, we're using the same platform. Yeah, but I want to release it on this other store. Just exclusive to this other store. Why? Dude, shut up, I just do. I don't know, I've got a bone to pick with, like, exclusivity deals with, like, Epic and whatever.
Oh,
We can use Epic Game Store.
Not really, unless they're really interested in, one of their exclusives. I mean, it works from time to time, I'll admit. But, most of the time it's just kind of like, please, why don't you just put it on Steam? Well, you see, we were about to, but, Epic paid us, like, $10 million to put it on their platform, even though their platform is, like, dying. So, we're gonna put it on there. Oh, cool, okay.
wait a minute. Are these the same Epic people that did the Fortnite stuff?
Fortnite
Yeah.
and its ramifications have been a disaster for the human race. Anyway,
Clearly, all Epic Games is known for.
pretty much. I mean,
Yeah,
that's probably how they get like half of that money.
Oh
Aren't they
yeah, I recently found out that
aren't they also
Fortnite is
behind
like
like
$9
Gears of
billion
War or
in
something?
revenue. So
Okay, you both talked at once.
I was about to say that's like okay, I'm pretty sure I just
and I was
Yes.
about to say that Fortnite is like $9 billion in revenue, but I guess
aren't they also
Why?
behind Gears? Aren't they also behind Gears of War?
I don't remember.
yeah, probably
Oh, yeah, yes, they are. All right.
Wars of Gears.
no. Shush.
But no, I mean, I don't either. I'm still back on that whole. I just think exclusivity on the PC is dumb. I don't want exclusivity on the PC. It's so stupid. It's like we're on the same platform. I don't want the console experience. Oh, hey, you get to have two things installed. You have to fight with all this other stuff. You have to install spyware on your computer. Yeah, bro, it's like the console experience. It's great, bro.
You need this ultra powerful PC that'll cost you like a fuck ton of money, and only for like, and the game's not even good.
I mean, it's not that. It's literally just like, having two separate storefronts on the PC. Because I don't know. Anyway, I might get into it some other time. It's just one of these deals where it's really difficult and really tedious to go to a different platform on the PC. It's not impossible, clearly, but, it's kind of like one of them is really good and the other just, like, basically bribes video game companies.
So Steam and Epic Games. So
I mean, thing is, I don't think Steam ever really does the whole, hey, put it on our platform.
no, I meant there's
Or,
like Steam was the good one. Epic
yeah,
Games is the one
I
that buys
agree.
people.
I think the only time Steam ever did the whole, we're going to force you to do it was like, with, I think Half-Life 2 was the first game where they said you have to have Steam installed in order to play it. Although it might have been optional for a while.
But isn't it? I could have sworn I've seen it on other consoles. And I played it on Steam, so like I just don't remember it anyway.
I mean, like it or not, Steam just kind of grew on its own organically. It wasn't one of these deals where it's like, we're going to bribe you into, hey, do it on our platform, and in exchange you can't, like, physically distribute it or something. I don't know.
I learned this at college. Wasn't Steam hated on when it first came out?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But don't quote me on that.
I forgot this was meant to be Sora and Smash.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Sora and Smash.
Oh, look.
I know literally nothing about Kingdom Hearts, nor do I really care.
I've been wanting to play that for years, but I just never got the chance.
All I know,
from what I
it
gather,
has the funny Disney characters.
oh yeah, that's apparently Kingdom Hearts is like Final Fantasy and Disney come together, and I'm like, that's
it's
the
pretty much
weirdest.
Square Enix and Disney crossover.
It's like the weirdest crossover ever. It's like, imagine you put Goku in front of Mumble from Happy Feet. That's basically it.
Amazing.
Actually, that doesn't sound like a bad crossover. I mean, it's a bad crossover if you're gonna take it seriously, but it would be funny.
It would indeed be funny. Yeah, it would be really funny, actually. Anyway,
Yeah, I think Sora was a really good final choice with her. I'm pretty sure he was the most requested character in like Smash 4, besides like the ballot, of course. Which I'm surprised that got mentioned again. I thought they just completely forgot about that.
besides what?
On the fighter ballot, if you remember that, the Smash 4.
Oh yeah. Now, here's something I wanted to add, though. And by that I mean let's move on to the next topic. I'm not good at segues, clearly. What's next?
Shit.
Thanks. What's next for Smash? Because, you got the Ultimate roster. You got, like, what? Over 80 characters now? 70, 80, something like that? So the question is, what's next? Like,
The only thing
I'm assuming we'd find out when Nintendo releases their next console.
and I actually talked to someone about this. I think that Ultimate will basically just get ported with each console, because I don't know what else you're supposed to do in that instance.
I can think of one thing, but I don't know. It's kind of stupid the more I think about it. It's basically just crosses over with another fighting franchise, because that's the only thing I can think of.
Pretty much, because like the big deal is, I think even Sakurai admitted that it was very difficult to get all of the characters from the original game, like the licensing deals and what have you, all the characters from the older games into, like, getting Snake was apparently really difficult. And I think
Solid Snake.
I think the big deal is, I don't know if they could pull that off twice. And plus, I think Sakurai's just kind of tired.
I'm pretty sure that the idea of making yet another one would be like scare him.
I think he wants to retire. I mean, he's been saying since, I think, Brawl, or since, like, before Brawl, he was like, nope, this is the last one. Not Brawl's the last one. I mean, the Wii U one's the last one. I mean, Ultimate's the final one. And you know what? I think he deserves to just be done.
I wouldn't be surprised if the next console comes out and it's just a port. Like, people were joking about that with, like, Smash 4 and, like, porting to the Switch, but, like,
I mean,
if it actually comes out, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't blame anyone for just saying, you know what, let's just port it. We already spent so much time on this. Let's just port Smash Ultimate and call it a day. Literally,
Smash Ultimate, the Ultimate Edition.
Just change the button mappings, right? No, Smash Ultimate Deluxe, featuring new funky mode. But I genuinely think it'll just be ports from now on. I don't know how they top Ultimate, because I
mean, I wouldn't be fine with that. Maybe a better story mode.
Yeah, you know what? Bring back Subspace Emissary, and we can go back to like 8 characters. That'll do it. Actually, no, it won't. But still, regardless, please bring back Subspace Emissary. I miss it. God.
Or like whatever they're going to call the next adventure mode. I hope it has the same gameplay.
I hope it's better than Spirits mode.
I can't play World of Light again. That got really boring quick, and it dragged on for way too long. I remember after the first Galeem fight, I thought it was over, and then we entered the Dark World, and it's just like, oh fuck, can this please end?
No, it never ends. But
the only thing I remember about it is the final boss was actually really cool, and with that moment where you play as Master Hand, that was cool.
Now I think the Master Hand. Now, there is one thing worse than Spirits mode. Who remembers Smash Party?
Oh, Smash Tour. That was
whatever.
That was actually bad. I didn't like that at all.
I never played it.
Smash 1 leagues better, and I really like Smash 1.
But please bring back Subspace Emissary. That would make Smash just literally perfect.
I mean, the few cutscenes they had for War of the Light were like great. So seeing that with like an actual story would be like really good.
I don't know. I mean, Sakurai got annoyed apparently because like people leaked the cutscenes online, and he was like, "Well, I don't want to do this again," and I'm like, "Why?" Because, and mind you, this was back in like the 2008, I believe. So it was probably all in 240p, and it looked terrible. So I'm just kind of. I missed 2008. But anyway,
that was 2008 was unironically a great year. Not gonna lie.
You say that as if we remember any of it.
I remember
I remember Indiana Jones 4 came out.
By that I mean specifically a lot of the stuff that came out that year, like the games and movies.
Oh,
and
I see.
TV
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh yeah, like the Dank Knight. Actually, 2008 was a pretty bad year because that's when the whole stock market thing happened.
Who cares about that? That never had any repercussions for anyone. Nope. No, sir.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, 2008 was cool. Breaking Bad started that year. That's the main thing.
Anyway, we got sidetracked. Point is, I don't know. Sakurai got upset that the cutscenes got leaked online in 240p quality. And so he was like, I never want to make a thing like this again. And I was like,
what a
wow, okay. RIP.
Yeah, because that was one of my favorite parts of Brawl. I'm trying to think, wait, just to make sure, did they leak it before it came out?
No, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that. It was just like, they, basically it was just people playing it, record. Like, you remember back in, like, the mid-late 2000s, early 2010s, where the only way to do screen capture was to record the TV.
Oh yeah, that and like, oh yeah, the fucking
stack it on a bunch of books.
I mean, oh, that was fuck. I actually remember that. I'm surprised.
I remember doing that once. It was hilarious.
I think I did that once as well, but like,
and you get it complete with all the glare and everything.
It cuts off at some point, or like,
it's either that or like an easy cap, where it looks like you're capturing it from VHS. Which is only a marginal improvement.
I was like, what year is it when like stuff like OBS started getting used, or like
OBS wasn't until I believe 2014 or 2015.
I remember before that stuff like Fraps was used for like PC recording.
Because I started doing like some stuff in 2015 with screen recording and what have you. But thing is, like I started using OBS when it was fairly new, I think, actually. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know what else to say. We got on to Brawl and then video capture or lack thereof.
Problem is the whole Smash topic's been like, I'm pretty sure that's been repeated a lot, the Smash Bros topic, so at this point all we can do is just like go off topic and just like fuck around.
I mean, now let's move on to something else. Let's move on to more Halloween stuff. Like Halloween specials.
This is a Halloween special.
What's your favorite Halloween special that you remember? From
SpongeBob?
These are cartoons. Actually, something interesting about the SpongeBob one. For some reason, I never saw it for... When would that air? I guess near Halloween, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know if it was timing or what, but for some reason, I never ran into it for like years. Literally, I didn't see it for ages until it was like, oh, yeah, this episode exists. And I'm like, wait, what? Since when? It looks like a season 1 episode. That's because it is. Why have I never seen it? I don't know. But, yeah, so I literally never saw that until, like, I'd say 2015, 2016, which, it was still a while ago, but it wasn't like, where I had basically memorized the entirety of the first 3 seasons by the end of the 2000s. So, I don't know. Granted, I didn't have the DVDs for a while, so that might be part of it.
Oh yeah, remember when DVDs were a thing? I do.
They're still a thing!
They faded from existence.
Yeah, just all the DVDs, they just stopped existing.
Yeah, I'm looking at my shelf, like, so the moment Blu-ray showed up, DVDs just kind of, like, faded from existence, just not Thanos snapped.
I mean, to be fair, I like Blu-rays better from a technical standpoint.
Oh yeah, no, I have a collection of them. I remember collecting them back in the day. I I don't do that anymore. But like at least often, obviously, when I see one costs very little, I'll pick it up.
And now there's streaming services. First there was one, then there were two, now there's like...
Then a million.
Then there's like 50, all with their own little exclusives. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, what's that? You want to watch this show? Oh, that sucks to be you. Looks like you gotta sign up for HBO, or for CBS, or for, Viacom, or for,
Viacom.
Viacom
is not
I'm surprised Viacom hasn't made.
I know Viacom isn't actually what it's called. It's like Paramount Plus or whatever.
Yeah, it's Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. Oh, I forgot the.
But I don't care
Paramount
because, well, I might get into it later. But point is, sorry, go ahead.
It's a little weird because I think with all these streaming services and all these companies releasing their own streaming service, I thought you would find certain things on there, like if the company owns this IP, you'd find it on that particular streaming service. But as it turns out, for some reason, they're still doing these deal sort of things where certain different companies' IPs get to show up in other streaming services. Like for some reason, I find the Ghost Rider movies on the HBO Max, even though Ghost Rider is from Sony. So you would think they would put it on Crackle, but Crackle is like a free streaming service, so I guess it's not profitable enough. But the point is, it's just jarring that when you find a Marvel movie on a different streaming service that is not on Disney Plus, it's a bit jarring.
Well, it's not only that, it's also the fact that, like, well, first of all, everything's distributed all over the place, where half of everything is exclusives now, or it's like, oh, you can only see it on Disney Plus or on this, that, and the other. But also, there's the big problem of, so what happens if the thing just isn't there? I mean, granted, that doesn't happen as much anymore, but there are times where it's just kind of like, oh, this show? You want to watch this show? Yeah. Too bad. We're not putting it on the streaming service. Yeah, it would take us probably 10 seconds, but we just don't want to.
My favorite part is when they put the sequels to like movies on there and they just don't have the original. So like when I want to binge watch a series, that just gets on my nerves.
Yeah, it's like I remember because on Disney Plus they had the whatever. What I'm trying to say is the Ice Age movies. They're not on there except for like the 5th one, and not the original.
I remember seeing like one movie had like Disney Plus has like the 3rd Predator movie and Prometheus, but none of the others.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's like one I saw that only had Alien vs Predator 2.
To be fair, I think.
Sorry.
I think the reason, like before, because certain movies had like a deal and they could only appear in one streaming service at a time. But considering enough time has passed for those deals to expire, I'm surprised they don't just put them on there now.
Well, what ends up happening now is like ironically enough, like if you want to, watch all these things, half the time you end up paying more than you would have just paid for cable, which, I mean, streaming was supposed to kill cable, but instead it like just made it even worse.
Yeah, no, streaming is cable, but just on the internet.
I mean, true. And that's
it's like cable is just a bunch of channels you're subscribed to, and then you go on the internet, oh, it's a streaming service. It's different from cable, but no, it's just the same thing. You're just on different apps and websites and stuff. But otherwise, there's no difference. It's the same thing.
And that's why what you do is you go and you subscribe to the 1 or 2 streaming services you actually like, and then the rest you pirate. Anyway. I mean, we here on Modcast do not support nor condone piracy. Please never do it. Please be sure to pay $150 a month for all the streaming services that you might want to use, even if you only use it once.
For the love of God, do not watch episode 3. Just watch all of them except that one.
Yeah, don't watch that one. Ignore that one.
Actually, you should watch it. It's pretty great. It's
Ignore that. Ignore that. We on Modcast.
It won an Oscar once.
We on Modcast do not support any sort of piracy. If you do, you're a monster. Clearly, you are taking food right out of the actors' mouths by pirating. That's it. That's what we'll go with. That's the excuse we'll go with. So yeah,
Right.
anyway, now that I've gotten completely sidetracked, what Halloween specials do we like? So,
Oh yeah, I forgot.
This is I love it when we just go completely off the rails. But this is one of those topics. Was like I'm probably not gonna say anything at first, but when the moments you guys like start talking about it, I'm just gonna start remembering more and just like. So I'm probably just gonna let you two speak first about this.
well,
Aw.
my profile picture on Discord right now is from the Ed and Eddie Halloween special, which is I think it's pretty good, honestly. But it could just be me.
I think I remember that one.
I think the only difference is between it and a normal episode is like it's like double the runtime. Otherwise that's like it. But I like it.
I remember. I used to watch it in a lot, but for some reason I don't remember a lot about it.
Yeah, it's probably illegal in Britain to think about Halloween. So that's why they banned the episode. I'm joking, they didn't ban the episode. I don't actually take that as a serious thing. Someone's going to take that as like, yo, they banned it in Britain? No, I don't think they did. That'd be stupid.
Thank God.
Then again, it's Britain, so who knows?
Man, British is weird.
Yeah, British people are weird. But yeah,
Always
anyway.
talking.
So, we have the Ed, and Eddie one. We've got the SpongeBob one. I can't really think of any others.
Yeah,
I'm
come to
trying
think
to
of it,
remember,
besides bring up the Ed and Eddie one, yeah, the SpongeBob is the only one that I actually knew. I can't think of any others.
I remember Cartoon Network was like the place I'd primarily go to. Like that's it. But sure, it has to be something on there. I remember. But, like,
I didn't regular show had those Halloween scary stories sort of thing.
oh yeah, I remember one of those.
Oh,
One of
speaking
those campfire stories.
of which, I mean, that does remind me of, like, the Treehouse of Horror segments in Simpsons.
Yeah, I remember those.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Never really watched Simpsons that often, but I do remember those.
I know the first
Yeah,
few were
Simpsons
actually
too.
really good, and apparently even the modern ones are still passable.
I remember those were like the only ones people were like excited for when it comes to Simpsons.
I mean, most people when I hear them talk about modern Simpsons, they say, "Oh yeah, and Treehouse of Horror is still okay." So, also,
Yeah.
occasionally I'll see clips of modern Simpsons. I feel bad for Marge's voice actor. She sounds like she's gonna die any second. But yeah, actually, Treehouse of Horror is really good. I should watch that again, but I'll probably do that later. Which streaming service is Simpsons on? Because I'm definitely gonna go out and I'm gonna pay for it legally. Yep.
Disney Plus, I think.
Yup, I will.
Free movies,
Yup.
I mean, yeah, Disney Plus.
Yup,
No,
viewers, I will definitely pay for Disney Plus because who would pirate The Simpsons? That's nuts.
you can also find it on MyFlix. I mean, yeah, that Disney Plus is the only one.
You can also find it on my favorite, Kim Cartoon, which you definitely should not go to. You'll get a virus. And then Sonic.exe will jump out of your screen and yell ooga booga booga.
Oh yes, Sonic, my favorite Nintendo character.
Ooga booga booga! Anyway. Can Courage the Cowardly Dog just act as like an entire series worth of Halloween specials?
I guess I was trying my best not to mention that. It's like, okay, I remember loving watching Courage the Cowardly Dog on Halloween. There is wait, aren't all of those horror? So does
yeah,
it have any...
pretty much. It's kind of like it can't really have a Halloween special if it could all basically be a Halloween special at any point in time.
Oh yeah, that's. You need to return the slab or
I
suffer
remember
my
Courage.
curse.
I remember Courage.
You're
scared
You're
the
not
ever-loving-
perfect.
Yeah, Courage scared the ever-loving shit out of me. Back
I
in
mean,
the day,
luckily
and
I didn't watch it as a kid. I never watched.
I
Courage
did. It
as a
scared
kid.
me, but I loved it. So yeah.
I remember watching it in a hospital when I got pneumonia, so
Wow,
pretty
that,
memorable.
that's probably even worse.
That's okay.
You got pneumonia. You're watching this cartoon, and you. Which episode did you watch, or were there multiple?
Don't remember what it was called, but there was this episode where they meet like a fly person, and the fly person was like a gentleman, but then he started like sucking the brains out of. I don't remember exactly.
I think I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, there was like a fly British person, like random.
Ah, yes, my favorite British person, the Fly.
The fly.
Yeah. Anyway,
Nothing.
yeah, I can't really think of any others. I'll admit. So
Fuck, I thought I would remember more by the time we get to this point, but
I don't know. I think there aren't too many Halloween specials, but the ones that are good, they're really good and memorable. But that could just be me. But yeah, so also speaking of cartoons, we gotta talk about this, apparently.
well, I'm not gonna say anything because I have never watched this show.
Well, I mean, I've only watched like 2 episodes, but Loud House. The reason we're talking about this is apparently there's a live action adaptation. All I can say is this. Luckily, there were never any other live action adaptations of popular series that were animated. Never happened ever again. Netflix definitely hasn't been doing any with like a certain style of cartoon from the Far East. Nope. No, sir. 'Cause, I mean, come on, that would suck. Why would they do something like that?
Really, excuse me, I actually haven't
feel
seen
like
any of
I'm
those,
supposed
but I
to
remember
know what
hearing terrible things about the Netflix adaptations of like anime.
Did I seriously?
Oh,
I just thought
man.
about what I said. Did I seriously call it Far East?
Yeah, you called it Far
Yes.
East. I thought call me racist, but the first thing that brought up was like the Middle East for some reason. I was like, what kind of Arabian show are you talking about?
When was the last time someone used Far East in a sentence like that? Probably not since like the 1920s.
I'm not sure. I mean, I know what you were talking about, but like,
I didn't know what you were talking about, believe it or not. I thought you were referring to like the Middle East, because that's the first thing that brings up in my
I
head.
get it. I get what you mean.
But yeah, live action anime. Oh.
yeah,
we
maybe
don't
want
talk-
to watch that adaptation of like fucking Tokyo Ghoul because that's like one of the ones I've been watching recently. And just like, it looked really bad by looking at the poster.
Wasn't Cowboy Bebop also getting one?
I think that's a new one.
And that's the one people are like, wow, this looks awful.
Yeah, it looks like shit.
That's actually a show a friend has recommended to me, so it's like, I might give the original a shot. But I don't know.
Yeah, the good news is the original can be given a shot, which is apparently very good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only good thing that ever comes out of these live action anime adaptations, that when people realize these suck, they go and watch the animated version and it's like, wow, this is way better.
I can't wait for the live action total drama show.
What? That's not a thing.
No, I don't think it is, but it's like a joke.
But then it turns into reality, because reality can often be
I'm surprised that
disappointing.
hasn't happened yet, but
I don't think the actually no, I was about to say the show isn't like, old enough for it to get a live action adaptation, but then I remembered Loud House.
Loud House is getting
and I was
one.
like, Loud House
and
is like 2015 or something.
2016.
Yeah,
close enough. I don't know. I don't care.
2007. So yeah, that should.
Anyway, so next topic, Math. Why don't you tell us some stuff about Godzilla?
Okay.
Just on the spot. I don't know why.
Recently,
Corson.
Recently, Netflix released the latest Godzilla anime, and it's a pretty decent show. The only problem is, they do talk about math and stuff and science and whatnot. It's pretty much critical plot points, and you may not understand it on the first watch, but then as you rewatch it, you understand, oh, okay, now I get it. But that's only because you've seen, like, the final few episodes, so you know where it all leads up to. But yeah,
there's another one you recommended to me a while ago.
Yeah,
I've been meaning to give that a shot for a while now. So yeah, that's been on my watch list for a while.
I have literally no clue what you're talking about.
It's called Godzilla Singular Point. It's a show on Netflix. That's Godzilla, but anime,
and not the trilogy.
No, not the trilogy. We don't ever talk about that one. Anyways. And from what I've heard recently, Toho, the company that owns the Godzilla, they're gonna try and do like their own Godzilla cinematic universe or something like that,
Yeah,
and it's
because
gonna start
everyone needs a
sometime after.
cinematic universe now. Sorry.
Isn't it? Because I've seen all the MonsterVerse ones and I've actually liked those so far. But you talking about like the Japanese one, like
Yeah, the Japanese. Oh, but to be fair, Godzilla was one of the first franchises to be a part of the whole cinematic universe thing because,
yeah, then it's in 2014.
yeah, in 2014 they weren't even trying to make a cinematic universe. They just decided to make a good movie and then they made the cinematic universe.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen. Yeah,
alright,
then
fair
it has
enough.
it, and I've seen the entire like MonsterVerse American universe so far, and I actually really enjoy it so far.
Actually, this actually got me. Oh, okay. So I think I have something else to talk about, and it's a little interesting, and it's the copyright sort of holders for King Kong. Now, when Kong Skull Island first came out back in 2017, people were confused because it was released by Warner Brothers instead of Universal. Universal are the ones who made the King Kong movies, so why is Warner Brothers the one distributing this one? And as it turns out, it's a complicated history for King Kong because the copyright is semi public domain.
Yeah,
It's hard to explain, but
I was about to
basically,
say, isn't King Kong like public domain? Because that's been
it's kind of public domain. Okay, so it's hard to explain, but basically, when King Kong was first created, the creators wanted to, complete ownership of the character. But the character was first introduced in a tie-in novel to the first movie. But the tie-in novel came in like a year before the movie did, which is weird. And because of that, the character was declared to be part of the public domain. But then after some legal battle and stuff, they realized that they still had ownership of the movie and they can only like take inspirations from the book. So the book is public domain, but the movie and the character isn't. And so King Kong is kind of in this weird sort of state where people can make movies of him, but they sort of have to take very creative liberties. It's why he's not called King Kong in the Monsterverse, and he's just called Kong because King Kong is obviously Universal's property, but Kong, when it's just Kong, it's pretty much free. You can use it, whatever. It's kind of like why Nintendo can only use Donkey Kong because it's just the word Kong.
That's actually really interesting. So anyway,
So yeah,
now I'm gonna go out and create my own Kong movie, very different and very separate from King Kong and Donkey Kong. Just so we're clear.
it's
Anyway,
yeah.
just a
And
remake.
the funny thing is, Paramount they made their own King Kong movie, but it was still pretty similar to the 1933 movie, which was the first one all the way back, and yet they never got copyright takedown or whatever movies do had to sue whatever. And another weird thing is that I'm not sure a lot of you probably know this, but there's a character called Mechani Kong, which is like a mechanical version of King Kong, like Mechagodzilla. Now, Toho wanted to use Mechani Kong for one of their movies, but they couldn't because the copyrights were with Universal, even though Toho are the ones that made Mechani Kong. So now it's confusing. It's like King Kong is semi-public domain, and yet you can't use a character that you made yourself just because it has Kong in it. But it's
that
confusing.
it is quite confusing.
So at the end of the day, King Kong is semi-public domain. It's like you can take creative liberties with him and call him Kong, but you can't take too much inspiration from whatever movie came before it, basically. But then that confuses me even more because in the 2005 King Kong movie, they had these creatures called a Photodon, and then the MonsterVerse made their own version of the Photodon, and I'm like, so, but isn't that with Universe? And it's just, it's confusing.
Yeah, I that was very confusing. I don't know
Yeah,
what to add to that. I mean,
so yeah, I
I
told you
learned
it's really interesting.
something. I'll probably have to replay it a couple times to fully grasp it, but
Or you could just look it up on Wikipedia because this is a very interesting topic, like the copyright holders of King Kong and who owns the character and stuff like that.
what?
It's a really interesting
When
topic.
was the original King Kong made?
1933.
All the way back. It's an old movie.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know it was public domain old.
Well, technically, the movie isn't public domain. The book that came before it is, but then again, the book is a tie-in to the movie, which is pretty weird.
When was the
So
book
yeah,
released?
like I said,
the book was 32, right?
Yeah, the book came out in 32.
I didn't realize that was in the public domain either. I thought it would still have at least a few years.
No, that's in
know.
the public domain. The movie isn't.
That's weird.
Exactly. That's the point. It's so confusing. It's like, who the hell owns King Kong?
Well, anyway. So we veered off Godzilla facts just straight into King Kong. But, So instead, let's just... I don't know, we got time for some extra stuff. Let's just talk about whatever we want, because... I don't know, extra nerd stuff, I don't know.
Did you know Rango had a video game? Yeah, it was actually a pretty decent video game. I owned it on the Xbox 360, and the story was Rango and friends were under attack by aliens, by these weird rock things. Oh yeah, there's aliens in the Rango video game, and Rango had to collect all the rocks because it may stop the invasion, but as it turns out, it just causes the invasion. And so the final boss is this weird pufferfish-looking motherfucker. And yeah, that's Rango the video game. I had it on the DS too.
My favorite, the extended Rangoverse. I mean...
Not gonna lie, Rango's weird.
I mean, I liked the movie, but I never played the game, and I didn't realize it had aliens.
I knew the game existed, I just didn't know about the aliens part.
Yeah, there are aliens in the game, and there's also zombies too.
Now I just want like a Rango Walking Dead crossover now.
But seriously, the game is actually pretty fun. The gameplay plays like a typical platformer, but there's also shooting segments, and there's also a racing segment where you ride the Roadrunner and catch up to the train and stuff, or give into a chase and save the damsel in distress and whatnot. And of
all
course,
you had to do was catch a damn train, Rango!
Oh, and there's also a weird level. The story reason is that Rango was hallucinating and stuff because he was getting like heat stroke or whatever, and then he just enters this weird dimension where he's just in a video game sort of land and everything is pixelated and shit. That was a memorable level, not gonna lie, but still, I never understood why that's in a Rango video game.
I don't understand it because I never knew it existed. But anyway.
Oh yeah, it exists.
Amazing, the Rango video game. I mean...
Yeah, it's on the Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3, and the Wii.
And the DS. I'm joking. I don't think it would be on the DS. Then again,
it is on the DS.
Why is it on the DS?
Well, on the DS...
Is it like one of those watered-down mobile ports?
No, it's actually kind of like those top-down sort of platformers things, and it also has shooting mechanics, too. And there's also upgrading mechanisms and stuff where you upgrade the gun and shit. And of course, there's also aliens.
Okay.
I wish I had a lot to say about this.
I wish I knew what to say. So
I have many questions, but like I don't feel like asking any of them.
Hey, I've got a question since we were talking about the DS. What's your favorite DS game? Not 3DS, just DS.
Probably Bowser's Inside Story.
Agreed.
Either the Lego Star Wars Complete Saga or SpongeBob Truth or Square.
That one I mostly just played the PlayStation 3 version of like Lego, but I remember playing the DS one on like a friend's DS, and it was okay.
Yeah, actually, that was my introduction to Star Wars. So pretty much every single plot point was done in Lego.
I don't know, I think the PS3 one may have been my introduction, but at the same time, my mom tells me that I've apparently saw Revenge of the Sith in theaters in 2009 because of a realist, but I don't even remember it. So
I am so sorry.
It's like, okay, so, and I don't even have any remembers of that, but my mom just told me about it. She's just, okay.
I do remember before I played the Lego game, I think I might have seen Revenge of the Sith on a TV, and my dad was like, "Whoa, look, it's Star Wars." Wait a minute, that's not one of the old ones, and he just switches the channel.
It's not one of the old ones.
I love how out of like 9 movies, only 3 of them are actually good.
I personally like Revenge of the Sith, but like the others are like the first one's mediocre, the second one's kind of shit, but
and then there's me who couldn't get through the 4th one, and by 4th I mean first. fourth. Episode 4. That's it.
Is it the one where he kisses his sister? No, wait, that's episode 5.
That's
Never mind.
5.
Yeah.
That's 5. Oh yeah, he kisses his sister. Did you know that?
Yeah. I've seen the movie.
But yeah, I don't know. Episode 4, I just got halfway through and I was like, okay, I'm bored.
Wow, you have no imagination.
No, I have no attention span. I say that, and yet I watch Star Trek, so...
I've been wanting to watch that show for like ages now, because I know most of my family loves Star Trek, so it's like it sucks to never watch it.
Star Trek's pretty popular. Huh. Now, I don't know why people compare Star Trek with Star Wars. Like, I haven't seen anything of Star Trek.
Because they both have star in the name!
Wow, they have something in the name. They're automatically the same.
I don't know, that's what some people think.
But from what I can tell, they're completely different. Like, one of them is about space exploration and stuff, and the other is people die.
Captain, would you like to go see my band recital? I'm sure you will enjoy it quite a bit. We're wasting screen time! Who cares?
Are you projecting right now?
Yes. I'm a projector.
Ah.
I'm one of those 240p classroom projectors that are incredibly loud for no good reason.
I remember my school used those for like a long while, and it was like, yeah, exactly the same way you described. It was low quality, like loud as shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that. Oh god, it's the THX logo, run!
I always just pronounce it Thix.
Please never pronounce it like that ever again.
Why?
Because I said to not do that.
Oh, okay, Dub is right. He's always right.
But yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get through episode 4. Maybe
we were talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, maybe it's just my short. Maybe it's my short attention span or something. All I remember is that it was a scene. I think it was a scene where Darth Vader force chokes someone, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It was either right.
Scene.
It was either right before or right after that, and I was like, I don't know. I can't sit through this. So
damn.
I've literally never watched it. Literally never watched the rest.
I just remember I remember like my first time watching movies would probably either be like Revenge of the Sith in theaters, episode 1 on VHS, and then episode 5 on like DVD.
I didn't watch any of the Star Wars movies until
there's
3 years after I got into it.
There's 20,000 different ways to watch it now, and the fandom is like, no, you can't, bro, you can't watch it that way. They made Greedo shoot first, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, why did you remind me of that?
Realistically speaking, Empire Strikes Back is the only one with like the special edition that's like a genuinely like kind of upgrade, because I remember that one was actually pretty good most of the time.
Bro, you gotta watch.
Oh yeah, because they changed the actor of Palpatine.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like how there's some like Sonic Adventure, for example. You know, I think it's a good game personally, but then there are people who are like, nah, you gotta play it the correct way. You gotta install 20 different mods to get it to look like it's supposed to, and have a widescreen patch and all that stuff. And I mean, I can do that. But for stuff I'm not particularly interested in, you know, I'm just kind of like, why do I need to watch it the correct way? Why?
You're not a true fan if you don't!
And then it was like I first played like Sonic Adventure 1 on like PlayStation 3, which I'm pretty sure those were like considered like bad ports back then, like the one with the bad audio mixing.
I mean, yeah, there are definitely bad ports of Sonic Adventure, just like there are bad versions of Star Wars. The difference is I actually care about Sonic Adventure, and I want it to look as good as is reasonably possible. So I'm willing to go through the research and whatever to the mods. But then you've got stuff like, you know, Star Wars. It's like, oh, you gotta watch it the correct way. You gotta watch the fan edition made by Star Wars fan 69420, man. It's like, why? Well, that's how you're supposed to watch it. It's the most true original version.
Then there's me who has lost all interest in like Star Wars like over a year ago, and then like just says fuck it and just watches the special editions anyways.
Wow.
Ew! I'm joking. No, I get it.
You know, Cinemassacre, if you know who that guy is. I mean, you might have heard of the angry video game nerd. I don't know. He's
Yeah,
very small.
yeah,
Eh.
yeah. You may or may not have heard about one of the most influential like video game reviewers of all time.
Yeah, but
What's
anyways,
up,
so yeah, this James Rofa guy, he suggested that they should release the Star Wars movies, but they kind of have like an interactive theater mode where they can pick and choose which scenes they can put on the movie, and then they watch it their own special way, basically. Like just select what type of scene you want for which direction you want to go, and then bam, you have your own custom-made Star Wars movie
I mean,
that
that's
you
a
can
great
enjoy.
That's a great idea. It'll never happen, but it's a great idea.
Yeah, I feel like, and again, that's one edit where it was like Luke falling from like after the "I am your father" scene, where it's just like they replaced his screen with the Palpatine screen from the Return of the
What?
Jedi for some reason. Yes, they did
What?
that.
Why?
When Vader tossed like Vader off of the screen, they just what the fuck am high? Vader tossed
Yes.
like Emperor off the screen, off the thing. They just replaced that screen to like Luke when he was falling off for some reason.
Why? What? Okay.
And then they realized, oh wait, this is retarded, and then they like got rid of it in later releases.
That's funny.
Oh, another edit that I want to bring up. It's fairly small, but everybody made a huge deal about this for some reason. So when Star Wars got released on Disney Plus, or like when Disney Plus launched, in the episode 4, they added just 1 second of footage of Greedo saying McClunky, and for some reason everybody just it's like, oh my god, they changed it again.
I vaguely
Stuff like that.
remember hearing just a bunch of stuff about McClunky. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like this. Isn't that like their little made up language they just added for some reason?
Yeah, and the worst part is,
McClunky.
I don't know why people are so worked up about it. It's like literally 1 second of new footage, and the entire internet was like, "No, this is heresy. Why would you change the movie and stuff like that?"
I mean, as someone who isn't a devout Star Wars fan, I think it's funny because it's just out of nowhere.
I find it
I
funny
mean,
that in their special edition they added like the Jabba scene, which literally repeats the exact same dialogue that repeats last time, except you see Greedo walking on, who's just died.
What?
Oh yeah, they
you know what?
just randomly added Greedo after he died.
I'm just having to imagine half of this because, I've not seen a bunch of this. So I'm just having to imagine half of what's going on.
Okay. I mean, we're saying pretty weird words like Greedo and Jabba, so just
McClunky.
picture.
But yeah,
And
no,
yes, McClunky.
I think I know what's going on. I don't know. I'll watch Star Wars.
Oh,
It's the war of stores.
all games.
So yeah, I'll watch Star Wars. I don't know. Eventually.
I've lost all interest in it. I don't know if I'd watch any of the new shit.
Well, I'm not gonna.
yeah.
I'm not gonna watch the new ones. I'm not gonna watch any. I'm gonna watch 4, 5, and 6. Might watch 3 because I've heard that one's actually decent. But then the rest, I'm just gonna go like,
Oh
no.
yeah.
That's more of a person. I have a personal attachment to 3. I
Dub,
personally love
you
that
should
movie
know-
for reasons.
Dub, you should know the state of the fandom right now. Let's just say, oof.
Star Wars fans are
Uh,
embarrassing. We know that.
Yeah, and honestly, I've just kind of lost interest in Star Wars for the most part, to the point where I'm actively just sort of hating on it, basically. It's
That's
like,
what we all
oh
agree.
my god, another Star Wars, to just stop it with the Star Wars. Enough with the Star Wars. Do I look like a Star Wars?
So like, what's going on with the fandom though? Because you said there was something wrong with that.
Oh yeah, basically, people are telling themselves to kill each other and stuff like that, because you either like the sequel trilogy or you don't, or you're excited for Star Wars or you're not. Some political stuff. Kathleen Kennedy is the devil and stuff like that. It's complicated.
I'm personally just away from that shit. I just like, I think literally once like the last movie, like episode 9 came out, I was just like, okay, I'll just forget this franchise existed. Despite how important, like I adored the franchise when I was like a kid, but like, yeah, now not so much.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I love Star Wars, but at the same time, I don't like it anymore. You know?
Amazing fandom, amazing series. You love to see it, folks.
I like
Just wait until you see the Marvel movies.
I like how the only
That-
example Corson gave here is Star Wars, and like I was just expecting not to talk about it ever, and yet here we are.
Marvel. Now, Marvel is a whole other thing for me because I've actually watched a few Marvel movies, and
Which
then,
ones?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I mean, at least not in order. I don't think I've watched anything since the second Thor, I believe. But and
Thor:
of
The Dark World.
what?
The second one's Thor: The Dark World, and it's considered one of the worst MCU movies.
So that probably explains why I didn't care for it. Probably because the last one I watched, I was like, really? People like this series? I mean, all right.
I mean, when your example with Thor 2, a film not even MCU fans liked, then yeah.
Yeah. But
The only other movie that I think might be even worse is surprisingly kind of underrated. It's The Incredible Hulk. I think that movie's kind of underrated because
more
it has
like
a different
the Incredible Bulk.
Oh fuck! Amazing bulk.
No.
I just
God
remember.
damn it.
I just remember how I hate everything's revealed. It's just like, what the fuck is this?
I remember the
God.
extended running scene near the end of the
God.
movie. we haven't used all our stock footage yet. Scene.
Why did you remind me of this movie?
Anyway, no. Point is, I know. I'm pretty sure it was Corson got all upset at me that I hadn't watched Infinity War or Endgame, which, I mean, I kind of get, but I also just don't. I don't care.
The movie
I would
made
have a
$2
rebuttal,
billion.
but like I've also lost interest in Marvel mostly because of like everything post like Far From Home so far. Besides like obviously like Shang-Chi so far has been mostly shit. It's another franchise that's recently reached a decline. Like it started off with like the Disney Plus shows. I think one of them was like it ranged from shit to mediocre. Then like Black Widow was really bad, and then like Shang-Chi was like the only good thing that came out of Phase 4 so far.
Now here's a question for you. Sorry.
My thoughts on Phase 4 were I thought WandaVision was okay for the most part. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was just too political for me. Loki was actually kind of decent because it actually, followed through with its plot threads. Black Widow, yeah, I didn't like that one. Shang-Chi, okay, now that was good. And the only reason I'm going to watch the next one called The Eternals is because there's apparently a sex scene in there. And you know me, I love sex.
I'm pretty sure that's the only reason most fans are going to be watching it.
So speaking of Marvel and Star Wars and other properties owned by Disney, I used to actually be fairly big into Pixar. Like back before I think 2016, I was pretty big into Pixar. So I got a question since I haven't watched a new one since. Actually, no, I think I did watch Finding Dory, and I was like, wow, But the actual last one that I've watched, certainly recently, but also that I thought was actually really good, was Inside Out. So I have a question. If you two have watched any recent Pixar films, how are they? Because I've heard that they've kind of fallen off.
The only modern one I saw was Incredibles 2, but even then, I was late to that one. I think I saw it this year with a group of friends, and that was it.
Well,
I've recently been getting back into Pixar's classic stuff, mostly again through those same friends who are all giant Pixar fans.
Well, me being obligated to watch these movies, I'm not, but I feel like I'm obligated to watch these movies. Yeah, Pixar is it's not good anymore anyways. The only one that I can think of that were good in recent times was Coco and Soul. And otherwise, everything else is just kind of
I really wanted to watch Soul, but I just kind of forgot.
So it's about this black guy that dies, and yeah, it's the soul is in heaven.
I heard Coco was actually I heard Coco was decent. I also heard Luca was actually good, the newer one.
I don't know. Luca was fairly more on the generic DreamWorks side.
Ew, oh no, that's not good.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
When
I
I think
missed out on a lot of it.
when I think generic DreamWorks, I think of Shrek having 20,000 sequels. Like
Wait, it has 20,000 people?
no, but apparently it's getting a fifth one. I genuinely don't know anymore.
I heard it
Oh, a
was getting
long time
rebooted.
ago it was. It was gonna get a fifth one,
I
but
mean,
then
yeah, but thing
I
is,
don't know.
I legitimately don't know if that's fake or not.
Apparently they were gonna make a fifth Shrek movie, but now it's like nobody talks about it anymore. It's just kind of, oh yeah, we announced the Shrek 5 and they never followed up on that.
All I know is apparently Pixar has kind of, you know, fallen off when it used to be like, you know, yeah, basically every single movie they'd make was great. Now it's just kind of, yeah, it's okay, I guess. I think I've talked about this before actually on Modcast, but I'll say it again. You know, I think that pretty much any movie Pixar makes will be, if nothing else, decent. But the question is whether it will be like actually good or just sort of, oh, yeah, it's okay, I guess.
Honestly, as out of character as this may sound, I think Pixar should make a PG-13 movie. Something a bit more mature, I guess.
I missed out on a lot of the modern stuff. Like I never watched Cars 3. I never watched Coco. I need to see that one. I haven't watched Luca.
I highly recommend
The
Coco.
newest one I watched was like Incredibles 2, and I think I missed out on a few before that.
Yeah, they made a sequel to Finding Nemo for some reason.
Yeah, I remember seeing that one.
Yeah, I saw that.
I forgot everything about it.
I didn't care for it personally.
Honestly, why did they have to make a sequel to Finding Nemo? That movie just kind of felt like, it was one of those movies where it's just one time, and then making a sequel is just kind of
Nostalgia banking. Hey guys, you liked Finding Nemo. Now get ready for Finding Dory. Even though we know where she is the entire time, and it wasn't really that big of an adventure, but hey, what do I know?
Oh, yeah,
the only
Toy Story
Pixar movie
4,
that I want to see the only Pixar movie that I do kind of want to see a sequel of is Wall-E, just to see, what happens afterwards of Wall-E and see that world.
I don't know. I think Wall-E needs to be its own thing. I think once you start tacking on sequels to it,
it becomes profitable.
I don't know, it just kind of diminishes the original.
Yeah, when it comes to sequels, sequels can oftentimes diminish the originals and stuff. But sometimes a sequel can be good, like, let me think of one. Aliens.
The
Dark Knight.
Did anyone here watch Toy Story 4?
I did.
I have.
Matt, don't you hate that movie?
I hate that movie, yeah.
Why?
The third movie. You've seen the third movie, right, Dub?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the third movie, it ends a very happy ending with the toys getting a new owner, and Toy Story 4 is about that owner, for some reason, just doesn't play with Woody, despite the third movie saying, oh, we gotta take care of Woody, alright? Because he's special. And in the fourth movie, he just kind of abandons him entirely.
Abandoned by Disney? Sorry.
No, seriously, it's like, it's like the fourth movie pretty much overrides the happy ending of the third movie, and it was just kind of pointless.
Wow. Great. Okay, I don't want to hear anymore. I want to keep pretending that Toy Story 3 was the end.
There's the funny black people sidekicks. They're funny because they're screaming black people. You know what I'm saying?
What?
You like?
There's like Key and Peele.
Yeah. I don't know what's this weird trend, but for some reason, animated movies have to have the black guy comedy sidekick character. Maybe.
I actually haven't never rewatched Toy Story 4. I think the only time I saw it was in theaters, and I remember thinking it was okay. I just didn't really think anything about it. So I just forgot about most of it.
But yeah, so as far as in my little world is aware, Inside Out was the last Pixar movie, and it was good. And then other ones came out after that.
And it came out in 2011 because I forget Cars 2 existed and the others existed. So just put it in 2011.
But yeah, I think everything before 2011 was really good, and then they started to trip up a little bit there.
2011, the good old days.
Yeah. but I don't know.
I forgot about 2011. Honest.
Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we end off this episode?
Whatever shit you guys come up with.
Well, there's this movie franchise that I like. It's called Cloverfield. So what is Cloverfield about, you may ask? Well,
We need to watch
it
this
all
one.
started back in
Clovers.
2007. It all started back in 2007, where this man named J.J. Abrams, you probably never heard of him, basically walked into a Japanese store and he saw all these Godzilla figures and he was like, you know what? America should have their own kaiju they could call their iconic movie monster. And so he began work on this script called Cloverfield. It was supposed to get a title, but Cloverfield just kind of stuck. And the movie ended up being about a found footage film involving these characters and their perspective on this giant monster attack. It was actually a pretty good movie. It has a unique sort of experience to it. It's like, wow, this is what would happen if you saw the giant monster from your perspective and stuff like that. And we were gonna get a sequel, but it seemed that the sequel was just taking a while. So it wasn't until 2016 where they announced 10 Cloverfield Lane. Is this the sequel to Cloverfield we were all waiting for? Kinda. Well, you see, it wasn't really a sequel. It was just kind of a movie that existed, and then they just put the Cloverfield title on it. and then they did some reshoots to connect with the universe, and that was pretty much it. It was a completely different movie that had no relations to the first one, and they just slapped the title Cloverfield on it.
Yep, that sounds like a J.J. Abrams move.
Yep, and
Sounds like something you would do.
And 10 Cloverfield Lane was actually a pretty good movie. It's just, what does this have to do with the first movie? The first movie was about a found footage monster film, and then this one is about girls stuck in bunker by crazy John Goodman Kai and aliens show up.
Wasn't there a third movie by any chance that have nothing to do with the other two?
No, and this is where the fun begins, you see, because after 10 Cloverfield Lane, despite critical praise and good money at the box office, people were like, yeah, it's a good movie, but what does this have to do with Cloverfield? And so J.J. Abrams got another movie that had nothing to do with Cloverfield, and that was going to be the third movie, but then they made extensive reshoots on it and basically put the film scenes on Earth and stuff like that. And then Cloverfield Paradox came out. What is this movie about? Well, it was originally supposed to be about scientists experimenting with this sort of machine that allows them to create particles and stuff, like make infinite energy, basically. But then they reshot the movie, so now it's about multiverse, and it's so clunky and messy, because then it cuts the scenes on Earth where the giant monsters show up, the giant monster from the first movie. That's terrible because it's just.
Hey, now what do you mean overcharge?
So it's a franchise that doesn't know what the fuck it is, but it just goes along with it.
I heard particle accelerator and immediately thought about Half-Life.
Oh my god.
So yeah, Cloverfield Paradox was going to be a solo movie about a particle accelerator where the particle was apparently the villain. I don't know how that works, but
the villain is the particle.
The particle apparently comes to life and is actively destroying reality because it's pissed off at the characters. But then they changed it, so now that it's a multiverse film to explain how the first movie and the second movie are connected, even though they're not.
I think he's literally just like putting together separate things and then just adding in one or two scenes like, wait, no guys, it's connected, I swear.
That's a very J.J. Abrams move.
Yep. Yeah, so it's confusing because this franchise started off as wanting to be the next Godzilla, and then it became a thriller, and then they just made a multiverse movie to connect the thriller and Godzilla together, and just makes it all confusing.
Sounds interesting. I should watch all of them.
Okay, you know what? You can watch all of them, but don't complain to me when you realize they have nothing to do with each other, except the third movie that tries to make everything do with each other, and it fails spectacularly.
Anyway, right, I think I'm gonna end off this episode before I learn more stuff about J.J. Abrams. So, yeah.
Oh, by the way, J.J. Abrams directed the Star Wars movies, the new ones.
Yeah,
We know.
I know. Unfortunately.
We know.
Oh, and J.J. Abrams is gonna make a Superman movie next. Okay, I'll stop.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah. Thank you all for watching episode 11 of Modcast. And, yeah. Happy Halloween. Stay safe. Trick or treat if you want.
Did I scare you?
No, you just confused me. Anyway, stay safe this Halloween. Enjoy a spooky Halloween. Go trick or treating if you want, or maybe not if you don't want to. And yeah, I think that should end it off. I was gonna say more about October and Halloween in general, but who knows? Maybe we'll save that for next year, or maybe just a separate thing entirely. So yeah.
Man, I'm a failure.
Yes.
We know.
So yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching episode 11. Bye. Bye.